Welcome to the Girl Gang. I'm Katrina Gardner of Katrina and Create.
And I'm Dominique Goyette-Connerty of Evergreen Marketing. On this show, we're going to chat with women business owners in Massachusetts and those who support local women in business.
Because girls don't just want to have fun. They also want to sell real estate.
They want to open a brewery.
They want to teach others to invest in the stock market.
They want to take stunning photos, plan lavish parties, and help people recover from injuries.
Girls just want a podcast.
What can we say?
We're girls. Welcome to Girls Just Wanna, the podcast. My name is Katrina Gardner of Katrina and Create.
And I'm Dominique Goyette-Connerty of Evergreen Marketing. Welcome back for another episode of Girls Just Wanna, the podcast.
We're excited to be here. We're excited to talk to you, tell you all the things.
Let's start with, we're heading into summer now. It is mid-June as we are recording this, and your son got out of school the beginning of this month. So
yeah. School's out.
So how's it been going, mama?
You know, I forgot I worked from home with him for the longest time. I forgot what it was like so quickly. He was only in school for a few months.
Right.
And now I'm just like, oh yeah, like, I don't know how I got anything done. And it's like, I am getting things done, but it's just like, I don't know. It's like there's so much going on. Like, it's not just a quiet house.
Right.
There's Blippi or Miss Rachel in the background and him running up to me and like wanting things, which is fun.
We were on a meeting yesterday and he was like, unicorn? Unicorn? Katrina's like, you want a unicorn? I was like, no, I would like to get off of this meeting now. Love Jamie, just hate meetings. So,
yeah. So
well,
he also joined an outward-facing meeting, which was fine, luckily. But yeah, so he's home. He will do summer school for 5 weeks after 4th of July, so that will be helpful.
Mm-hmm, that's nice.
Yeah. And his grandparents are watching him 2 days a week for a few hours, which is also nice. That's really helpful with like when I do have outward-facing meetings that aren't with like my team, because most people are fine with a toddler. But you never know. And you never know what he's going to need and, like, how much of a distraction he's going to be. Like, I had a team meeting, and I, like, joined it, and I'm, like, outside in the woods. And I'm like, I'm sorry. Like, this was...
That was earlier this week, and I was like, ma'am.
I know.
Which I love Jamie, don't get me wrong, but it was Katrina's meeting. Like, she was running it, and she booked it for, like, 7 people.
Yeah.
We all join on time. Katrina shows up 3 minutes late on her phone outside with her toddler, like, oh, sorry, guys. I was like, it's fine.
It was bad.
Well, it would have been less bad if your connection didn't, like, you got, like, a little bit disconnected a couple times.
Yeah.
And I was like, ma'am, you booked this meeting.
I know.
But, like, it went fine.
It's fine.
It's been a week.
It's going great, guys.
She's, like, counting down the days till summer school starts.
I'm like, have fun.
Aww.
Learn things.
All right.
So,
well,
yeah.
love that for you. Happy summer. Happy almost summer school.
And what have you been up to?
Okay, so I've been wanting to talk about this in our intro to the pod for so long. Are you on color analysis TikTok?
No.
Okay. I'm hoping that other people
I've heard of it. I have.
watching this episode know what I'm talking about.
I've seen it. I honestly have
You
been
scroll
interested.
past. Oh.
But I like don't get it, or I can't like figure it out on my own. I would just want someone to do my color analysis for me.
Okay, so color analysis, if you don't know what I'm talking about, is like, I don't even know how to explain it. It's like using the color wheel and like the science of color and color theory to, in this case, what I'm talking about is figure out what colors look best on you.
Right.
Mostly talking about clothes, but
Right.
also makeup, hair color,
Right.
Accessories, but mostly clothes. And so, like, there's this one lady that I follow on TikTok because I stumbled upon her, and now I'm obsessed. And her TikTok name is The Color Analysis Queen, and she's based in Dallas, Texas. And so she just records, like, like she'll put her phone in front of, like here, and then this is her client, and then she stands behind them while she's doing their color analysis. So she records their like consultation session. Mind you, these sessions are like hundreds of dollars.
Yeah.
For like a 1 hour session or whatever it is. And she goes through, so like, I don't know, you guys might know, there's like 4 seasons. So it's like spring, summer, fall, winter. And then in those seasons, there's like 3 different like sections. So it's like cool or true, cool, true, and bright.
Right.
And so basically, and then there's a color palette for each. So there's ends up being like 12, but then I don't know, somehow 16.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So do you have any idea what your...
I think I'm a true winter.
Okay.
So I definitely have a cool undertone. And it, like, I couldn't do it myself, but I just get so obsessed with the videos. So I think I'm a true winter.
Yeah.
I have a cool undertone. I have higher contrast features, like a darker brown hair with really light skin and really light blue eyes.
Yeah.
So that high contrast like might mean.
Yeah.
So I don't really know. That's my best guess.
I think I'm like too delusional to do it myself because
That's fair.
I'm always like...
You just want to pick the colors you like.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm a warm undertone. No, I'm not. Why would I think that? Like that...
I don't know. And it's just like it also like tells you kind of like what types of jewelry would look better on you, like gold or silver.
I have seen that before, and I think it told me that I would look better with silver, and I was like, tough shit, because I'm a gold girly.
Right. Yeah. And it also just like the theory of it all is like when you're wearing your best colors, like the ones that are in your palette of your home season, like they make your skin look like more glowy and less red. They make your eyes pop. They make your lips pop. They make your teeth look whiter. Like
I actually should look into that then, because I've been having a lot of issues with my red skin, and I'm going to the dermatologist to ask her about it. But it'd be great if I could find the colors.
There are just like certain, like I know like oranges and corals are like a bad color on me. Like they don't help me with anything.
Yeah.
And so, anyway, so I've just been obsessed with these videos. So I will watch like 5-minute TikToks of a consultation just because she'll hold up the colors and she like pulls away the drape on someone. And she's like, she'll be like silver and she'll pull it away and she'll reveal gold. And they're both like, oh, so much better. Oh, so pretty. And I'm just like, I don't see it.
I like the ones where they like have like a sheet with like a hole cut out of it.
Yeah,
it's literally just like this person's head.
So to do the color analysis sessions, they tell you to come in without any makeup on, without like with your natural hair color, and then if it's not your natural hair color, they'll like drape it, they'll cover it, because you're trying to like see the color and you and how it works together. And so if there are any other factors throwing it off, it like doesn't help. But anyways, if anyone on here is like into color analysis TikTok, please like DM us or email us because I'm obsessed.
Dominique needs to talk to somebody about it.
I do, and also I need to know if we know any experts or people who are color analysis certified. Yeah. Because I want you on the pod, obviously. So yeah, that's just been my latest obsession. I will be up at 1 a.m. just watching her videos.
No, my TikTok has been like political satire lately. Enjoyable.
Okay, if you say so. And on that note, let's get to what we're really here for, which is our guest this week. We'll bring her in now. All right, we are here with today's guest, the lovely Neelu Mohaghegh.
Yes.
I practiced that before we started.
And she crushed it.
Oh, thank you. So I've known Neelu for a few years now. We met through one of my last jobs. She is the owner of Fuel America on Grove Street.
Yes.
Great place for coffee and food and co-working.
Best place,
and
yeah.
like basically everything.
Yeah.
Honestly, we go there a lot and we love what you're doing with the place. So we were like, come on in and talk to us about it. And there's also been a lot of new stuff happening. So thank you so much for making time. I know you're so busy.
Oh, no, of course. I appreciate it. I'm so grateful to be able to talk to you guys about this. I love what you're doing with this podcast.
Thank you.
Yeah, just honored to be here. So
Yeah. So tell the peeps, Fuel America on Grove Street, how you got started there. And, you know, obviously you serve coffee, tea, and food, but like what else you do.
Yeah, for sure. So I guess like to reel it back even further, I used to work in the music industry before, and so that was kind of a big passion for me, was always working in experiences and putting things on that were memorable for people. So that was always kind of my goal in life, was like I always want to be the person who puts something so experiential for people that they really feel tied to it, and you know, things that they're passionate about, like artists and entertainment in general. So I always really loved that. Then of course the pandemic hit, and so I moved back home towards the Worcester area, and I was helping Dad out, who had beautiful property in Worcester, and so was helping out kind of create again a space that he really was hoping the same goal as mine, of like creating a gathering space and creating something that was experiential for people to really fall in love with. And I always worked as a barista in college, so I loved coffee shops. I've always was voted to be most likely to be in a coffee shop by my friends. So my dad is very happy to hear now that all that money spent is going well back to a coffee shop. But yeah, so I always really loved coffee shops just because of the gathering aspect of it, and like the feeling of community in these spaces, and being able to curate. And always like you go into a coffee shop and you feel suddenly, based on the aesthetics of a space, you're like, I love this, or like you get a shock kind of into your system, and you want to work there, and you get production, like you get very productive. You work with your friends, you gather with family, you meet new people, you're networking. Like I always loved that about coffee shops. I found them as kind of like these beautiful little secret societies within cities, and when I travel, it's the first thing I want to see is what kind of coffee shops are in that city, because you get a feel for that community through them. So I was like, maybe one day I'll have one down the line, and it happened a lot sooner than I thought was going to happen. So we were looking at coffee roasters, bumped into Fuel along the way, and they were looking to start franchising, and so we were actually the first franchisee. And so it definitely has been a journey since opening. Learned a lot in a short period of time, a big learning curve from being a barista to owning and operating a coffee shop. So it was definitely a lot of understanding the supply chain, inventory, even people management, just all of that comes kind of very fast at you, and you just have to kind of problem solve day by day. There's never a normal day at a coffee shop. Everything breaks all the time. But you figure it out along the way, and you get really good thick skin through it all, really understanding like how to be, you know, strong for your team, but also be strong for yourself, you know, to make sure things run smoothly and that the customers have an incredible experience every time. And got to continue my goal of having the experiential aspect of hosting a bunch of events at the coffee shop. So that's been a big part of it. Is we've done fashion shows that I'm very passionate about fashion too. So I always really wanted to do a streetwear show one day. So we've done 2 so far. We've done several concerts. We've done trivia nights. We've done workshops of like cookies and
I think I saw a calligraphy. That was cool.
All kinds of events. So like you name it, it somehow has happened. We've done workout series with local gyms in the area.
You guys had like a Studio Ghibli like movie.
Yes, we did that. The film series.
You had car shows.
Which
out in the little. On the cobblestones.
In the courtyard, the farmer's market.
The farmer's market. So that was one of the first times I think we hung out.
Yes, we met at a conference, and then the next time we hung out, we had a coffee date at Fuel.
We had a coffee date, and then it was on a Saturday that you were having a farmer's market. So we went out, and I got flowers, and you got some stuff. So we have like a picture, I think, together. Out in the courtyard.
That makes me so happy. I love hearing
Isn't that
stories.
So sweet?
Yeah, I love hearing when customers tell me their stories of like, we met at your shop actually, or like this is like how our business idea came to life at our shop, and I just get so excited by that. I'm like, really
and
cool.
so we've co-worked ever since. Now, you know, we work together. We have our own little businesses. We obviously collaborate on this podcast together. So we do a lot of like coffee meetings at Fuel. And it's like you said, you know, every coffee shop has its own sort of like aesthetic, and the environment when you step in is very much like you're just like inspired, I guess, with like your best ideas.
A lot,
and like to be so productive and get things done.
That was a goal, so I'm glad. Thank you. Glad it was achieved.
No, we love going there.
Absolutely.
So let's see. So what are some of the other things coming up at Fuel America?
For sure.
The coffee shop. Because we're going to get to other stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. So the coffee shop, definitely, we still have the car shows. They're happening all summer and into, I believe, up to October. So we have them coming up. Hopefully, too, we were supposed to do it last year, but it got rained out because it was so rainy last year. But
I know. Last summer was such a wash.
It really was. So I'm hoping that, you know, this summer we have it all coming back. But we were doing like a ladies' car show night, too.
Nice.
So that should be really cool. But yeah, we have a couple more car shows down the line. I'm actually taking a bit of a break from hosting events of my own just because it was so much it was really fun at the start of the first 2 years, like hosting all the fashion shows, like everything that I curated, I would love to death. But now that I've got another project, which we'll talk about, I was like, I need to definitely take a back burner. I'm very good at being like the yes woman to a lot of things and taking on more on my plate than I probably should. So, but we do have a couple, like we have another calligraphy workshop coming up in the store, which is really fun, and just a lot of, great new staff that have joined the team, which is always really exciting to join new people to the family. So I always love that kind of like the growth that happens on our team and stuff. And then the co-working space that we have, the conference room attached to the coffee shop, is actually available for like membership subscriptions now. So people can, book whenever it's available. That's good to know. So on a monthly fee basis. So that's been a nice new endeavor too that we've had. So it's nice to see people being actively in that space working together and using it for photo shoots or whatever it be.
That's where I'm like,
right now. I know. She's always
I'm
looking
always
for
on
like
the hunt for
photo
like
shoot
a photo
locations.
Shoot space.
Yeah, because we'll do like brand photos for marketing.
Yeah, I do quite a bit like corporate photography.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah, whether it's for my own company or like, for outsourcing to other companies.
Right.
But
we got the space.
Yeah.
And
it's
some new menu items too, of course.
Ooh,
we have the new summer menu just released. So we have like our favorite, like the Choco Cocoa Monkey, which is really good. We've got a raspberry cold foam on matcha, lavender cold foam on chai, affogatos. Everybody loves those.
I'm an ice cream
girl. You guys
girly.
do some really fun things. I had your Barbie latte, which was the beet latte. And I was like, I don't know if I'm going to like it. This is a new venture for me, but how could I not try it? Yeah. And it was good.
It was good? Oh,
it was good.
Yeah. I know sometimes when you get into those like the veggie type drinks, people are always like, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. And then we have one more. We have the Hawaiian mocktail, and that's like a iced tea that's like made with like peach syrup and agave, and it's just like a very refreshing drink, and it has some raspberry in there too. So
I also have to say they have like such good acai bowls. I get one every time I go, and every time I go, I think I'm gonna get a different one.
Yep.
And I don't. I get the same one. I think it's the hazelnut.
The Roma chocolate hazelnut.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Every time. It's so good.
No, it is fun. And we do like even like we do birthday. We started doing it a little bit last year, and we're like happy that people gave us great feedback. We do like a birthday build your own buffet party with them. So like we'll bring pre-scooped bowls. One of us will come over with all the toppings at the bar, and then you guys can come up and like tell us what you want on it for parties. Like we did it for an 8-year-old's birthday party. It was super fun. So
and you do catering too, like for coffee, pastries, if you're doing a meeting or
exactly. And we've really picked up on catering. I think that's the big thing that's been a huge change from last year. Is like now we do at least like honestly we had 3 this past week and then 2 today. I'm doing a pop-up later tonight as well at the Equatorium. They have a jazz night fest, so I'm doing one there. And then on Sunday we're feeding the whole baseball team of the Bravehearts. We're doing 100 sandwiches and we're keeping busy. That's for sure.
Yeah, for sure. And you have a new venture, as we've kind of hinted at.
Yes.
You've got the hat. You're rocking it. Grove Village Market, right? So tell us about that.
Yeah, so now this one's really exciting because like this is kind of our own endeavor now. I mean, obviously Fuel was also a big one, especially being part of their like first franchising process. So like it definitely was a very hands-on experience, but now this one is truly completely new, separate from another company. And it's been really fun to kind of engage and create something like that I think is needed. It's a niche kind of idea. So we're doing a modern day bodega. That's kind of how we've been pitching it. It's a big space though. So when I say bodega, people are like, oh, you think like a little corner store?
Yeah, like a closet.
No, this is about the same size as a coffee shop. So it's pretty big. But it's like the whole aspect of it is like it has all your convenience items, like the things you need to run and grab. And as a person who like is always on the go to myself, like I think I always try to feed experiences that fit that kind of lifestyle because I understand what it's like to be like, I need to get everything I need in one place before I can keep going on with my day. And being productive, but also recognizing you need a break kind of, and you need that pick me up and you need a place to feel at peace. So the convenience store kind of aspect of it is that, it's got the comfort foods, it's got healthy options too. So there's a balance too. Because I think that's like important as well. You have to have a balancing act. I think at Fuel we have that too on our menu. It's like a healthy but also comfort foods. You got the mac and cheese, but then you got the acai bowls. And
how come I haven't had your mac and cheese yet?
Mac and cheese? Oh my goodness. The thing is like very popular.
It's
You've been too distracted by the acai bowl.
My eyes are always on the acai bowl. It's just so good. Like I'll say to you right now.
energy, the Roma Choco, so
I'll say to you now, like I'm gonna go try the mac and cheese, and I know when I walk in the store, I'm gonna get the acai bowl.
I get the turkey bacon sandwich every single time I go. It's just so good.
That one's my favorite too. For sandwiches, definitely. But yeah, the market. So we have one aisle though, and this is the key factor for me was building this was to create a cultural aspect out of this store, because I think Worcester is such a melting pot and there's such a beautiful diversity here, and coming from immigrant parents who raised us here in Worcester, I think it was just kind of an homage to my dad, who really worked hard to build the life that we have. And so this aisle is international snacks. So we have snacks from all around the world. We've got Persian snacks, naturally. We've got Japanese. We've got, Mexican. You've got all kinds of you can walk around it and you can see all around the world kind of. And eventually we're still, obviously, this is just our soft open. We opened last week. So we're just kind of filling out the aisles as we go. July will be our big grand opening, and I'll share what day that is so everyone knows. But we are, so we're basically filling it out, and then I have one fridge dedicated to also local brands. So I wanted to have Woo Juice in there, and I have Kathy, who does her company Nori, that they make onigiri triangles and musubi, and it's all these very talented local vendors that have created drinks or food products that I think that should be highlighted. And Bagel Time, we want to have their cream cheese and bagels, and there's a guy Ryan who's out in Watertown, and he creates these Energizer seltzer drinks. They're so good, refreshing, lightly caffeinated with the coffee beans, so they're healthy. It's like using the cascara plant caffeine, but it's a seltzer drink. So if you're not a coffee drinker, you can enjoy it. So it's called All Day, and they're really good. So we have them all kind of in that fridge, again, to showcase the talent that's in Mass. And I thought that's a cool feature too, to kind of create this weird, so the Grove Village Market, the reason I decided to name that, not only because Dad is trying to create that area, it's called the Grove Village on Grove Street, but also for me, when I think of a grove, I think of you enter into a space and there's a variety of different, plants and things, and it's an experience, it's mysterious, it's exciting, it's magical kind of, and I want people to walk in there and feel like they're exploring and going into a grove of things, and they get to try all these new flavors and new snacks. And there's also other products. We have accessories, we've got cute little goodies and gifts and cards, and I'm gonna have flowers in there as well that you could buy. So makes it feel like a almost farmer's market-y, but with a convenience vibe, so it's city meets market kind of. So I love that.
And so you were talking too about more convenient options, grab on the go sort of thing. So do you do little, I don't know, sandwiches or pre-made
we do
things?
And we have seating in there as well, so people can actually sit in there and get work done as well. It's part of the coffee shop, which is really nice, so I think it complements really nicely too. So there's actually, we literally broke a wall, broke the hole into the wall, and you can go through the spaces kind of interchangeably. So that way it kind of allows you, if you wanted to be in a quieter kind of slower paced environment, you could be in the market, and then if you wanted to be in the kind of the hustle and grind that is the coffee shop, you could be in there as well, because I work well in the crazy white noise of a coffee shop, but I know some people maybe not so much, but the market allows you to work, and there's a microwave in there, and there's things that you can heat up the food that you buy too, so that you could actually enjoy sitting in the space. And we'll serve teas as well, and my fun little, I'm trying to create a mini tea house kind of in the market as well, so
love it.
All these different teas you can try, kind of complementing again the coffee shop. So we have these teas that you can, I learned this from Korea. When I was in Korea, the convenience store there is on a different level. So but I wanted to really provide something fun like that. So we actually have tea concentrates in bottles ready for you to grab. And you bring it to register, and we add the milk to it to make it a tea latte on the run. So we have London Fog, spice chai, Thai iced tea, and then Persian tea. And you can quickly run and go.
She's gonna like that. So she's not a coffee girl. She's a tea girl.
Tea girl. Yes. And tea has become really popular. I think that's the big thing that I realized. I mean, I always grew up on tea, because that's culturally what we do all the time too. So I'm noticing that when I went to a coffee festival, most of the festival was about tea. And tea is really taking a forefront right now. It is. So we were that's
having
really
a moment.
Fun. It's having a moment. So we were why don't we try to offer a tea house? Because also we have a lot of students in the area too, and a lot of students don't drink coffee. They don't start to until they adult, and then adulting they really need the coffee. But beforehand we were how can we offer something that they'll still enjoy? So we were going to do that. So we also have the Woo Juice fresh pressed juices. So that's also
I'm
really
excited
nice.
about those seltzers you mentioned too. I'm coming to try those.
They're so good. And one of the fridges too, along with the international, is all international drinks too. So we've got this sparkling Japanese juice that's one of my favorites, Camino. They're so good. So I have a bunch of different Italian sodas, all these kinds of things that you can just really, again, refreshing and joyful. And actually the other thing too, I forgot to mention, we have an acai fridge that you can buy our base.
How did you forget to mention this?
I forgot priorities.
You should have started with
Your
that.
priorities.
I am getting so hungry right now.
I know, right? We're coming up on lunchtime.
Lunch after this.
Yeah,
We'll go.
acai bowl's so good.
Yeah. So you can take. We actually had a gentleman come in, and he was like, I just want the acai, and so we were like, why don't we show you here? You can buy the acai to take home. So yeah. So now we figured, we were like, honestly, people have praised the acai so much. It just makes sense that if you want to you don't want all the toppings. You can put the toppings
so you can do
home.
your toppings at home. You can make your own little. But it's the acai that's like hard to do yourself, obviously.
And exactly, because there's all kinds of variations of like the frozen packets that you have to blend yourself, and sometimes the consistency doesn't come out the same.
Right.
So,
The consistency of yours is 10 out of 10.
We
Highly recommend. So you have all these ideas now that you've listened to this podcast of Neelu's recommendations for drinks and snacks and bevies. So go check it out. And I do just want to say that you were mentioning for Grove Village Market, you were like, oh, we knocked down a wall. And that reminded me of this girl being like, you think she's coffee shop owner, you think she's in charge of operations of the cafe. She's also like construction manager, electrician. Like when you were opening Fuel, and I remember we talked about this years ago, like you were like, it's so different too. Like you think, oh, I'm a barista, so I have the coffee experience, but you don't have the running a business and like doing new construction to open a cafe experience. Totally. And so if you want to talk about just like how crazy that was and how much you learned.
Oh yeah. So I think, again, coming from the music industry, I was like, this is going to be a journey for sure, but I'll figure it out along the way. Like I was like coming from my corporate brain being like, it'll be fine. And then I'm here literally nail gunning the floor and I'm learning what HVAC stood for, which I probably should have known what it stood for before, but I didn't know that. And then I learned all about. Now I can't step into a space without being like, "Wow, dude, look at that HVAC."
Yeah, you're like, that's up to code.
You
have your hard hat on. You're like,
Truly, the codes are a whole thing too. Yeah. Like signing up for liquor licenses, like all
like
the
permitting
things,
and stuff.
Like
oh my
there
gosh.
was so much to learn, and every day, like my laundry list of things to do were just out the door. But knowing that I could only achieve so much in a day and get through it each day, and you have to press as much as I'm so grateful for everybody who has worked. Like my maintenance team, our in-house maintenance team is the most incredible people. Like I truly am so grateful for them and love them. But all the outdoor vendors we had to reach out to, you have to chase them down to get them to come and finish something, and then they're trying to explain things to you as if like you couldn't understand it, and I'm like, listen, I would do it myself, but I need you to do it because that's code and permit and it's a whole process. But it was really, a good experience to learn like all the legalities that go into it, and like understanding like what is achievable in a space, what's the safety procedures of a space, like all that.
Did you have any resources to help you like learn all this stuff, or was it really just kind of like
It was a lot of researching. Yeah, a lot of learn by do. Thankfully, you have general contractors who usually know kind of the nitty gritty a little bit, but like every general contractor, has had different experiences. So maybe some have worked more in residential. So then when you throw them food and beverage, so, they're not experienced with that. So it's a little different. So you're basically learning together as you go. But, it's a lot of researching. It's a lot of reaching out to the city and being like, okay, I'm opening this kind of business. And then they give you all the documents you need to sign, and you kind of learn as you're reading along. So it was a lot of that. Even with like, the fuel company too, of course they gave me some insight here and there, but they kind of give you just a little bit and then they're like hands off after that. It was a lot of just on the ground kind of figuring it out along the way. And I'm grateful for the people that were there to help me understand and let me ask the questions, because it's a lot to figure out for sure.
Yeah. And then so doing it the first time with Fuel America, was it a little bit easier, or did you feel a little bit more knowledgeable this time opening Grove Village?
I definitely felt more confident. I definitely felt like more knowledgeable in the sense it's different still in terms of business operations. Like I'm not dealing with the kitchen now. I'm not dealing with, a lot of like the paper goods we need in a coffee shop, or like some of the food permitting is a lot lighter with this store than it was for the coffee shop, because now you're dealing with allergies and all these things, so you have to be careful in food preparation and stuff. But I felt more confident in terms of like, I know exactly what needs to be completed to get this space ready to go, kind of. And that was like really reassuring to be at this point where, and my staff I think could tell too, because I was just running through the motions, like going through it really quickly, and I knew who to reach out to for documentation of things and who to ask for permits and stuff. So that felt like a lot simpler at that point. So I was like, now I just do, but still, even then, I was like, because it's a different business source, I still had to do my research of like, okay, so now how are the operations here? What are the systems here? So, but all good learning, And I think I like the adrenaline rush of doing a new project. Like,
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
as much as it is exciting, yeah, sure, I would love to open another coffee shop. I actually liked switching gears and being like, now we're opening a retail store.
Yeah.
Like, and you know, we even have more plans down the pipeline to opening more things in the Grove Village area, like in a different business matter.
So what I hear is you're coming back on the pod. Okay.
Maybe I'll be back again with a different hat and a different business.
I love it so much because that area too is just like magical. Like you have such a little gem in the city of this like
Thank you.
really, really beautiful and adorable. Like it doesn't even feel like the Worcester that I grew up with, you know? It's
Right,
like
same.
yeah, and it's just like, oh, this is in Worcester. Like this is so special.
We're trying to make it feel like, you know, some things that major cities have, or things
Yeah.
that Europe has, or things like that, you know, that I think a lot of times, like, we take for granted that we have all these beautiful spaces here in Worcester, and, like, we can really, we have
because Worcester
kind of
has a really
audience.
beautiful, rich history.
It does,
but
yes.
yeah, you have part of it right there.
We're trying, and you know, we think that there is the demographic. Like our you know, generation really wants those kinds of things, and for us, we'd have to drive out to Boston in order to see something like that. And so we're trying to bring that here because I think that there is, you know, all these amazing now young entrepreneurs, which you guys are doing a great job of highlighting, but there's so many of them here that I think, you know, are bringing now that life to Worcester that I think is super important. And I think it's making it, even for students that are all the colleges that are here in Worcester, like making it for them too, to feel like they don't have to go far to see or do something. Like they can be here and walk to it. And I think the more walkable Worcester gets, the better and more accessible that it gets. And I think that's what we're trying to do, is make it accessible, walkable, experiential. So
and when they graduate high school or college here, they don't have to leave to go have that type of life in a different city. They can stay here. So it's good for the city, honest. Like what you're doing, just your businesses, is good, like overall for the community and the taxpayers and the schools and the city and whatever.
Nice
so
little domino effect of things.
no, seriously. I mean, it takes a village.
Oh,
takes a Grove village.
Yes, definitely.
So anything else you want to say about the businesses before we start to wrap up here?
I mean, honestly, you know, anytime people have ideas or feedback, we're so open. Like, a big thing for us is it is about, like, being family. Like, we call our coffee shop Fuel Fam, and, like, we call, you know, everyone the Grove Village as part of the family, too. Like, we all intertwine and work with each other, and I always, like, believe that with my team. Like, you know, all of our customers are our extended family, too, like, especially all the regulars who come in, which we appreciate. So, you know, you guys' your thoughts, your feedback, it really matters to us. So, especially now with the Grove Village market, like, looking for the snacks, the things that you need, like, what is something that you always are looking for? Like, we're taking all that feedback right now. We, like, ask customers as they come in all the time. We're like, what is it, especially again on the cultural side, like I love being able to offer something to people that, personally, the Persian snacks, I had to drive all the way to Watertown to be able to get anything that I loved, like that were Persian snacks. Now I'm like, I can offer it here, like I can bring that to the city. And so things like that, if there's something that people love, like, please feel free to reach out and, like, connect with us too. Like, all the events we do, it's out of, like, again, passion to share and, like, highlight everyone's interests and passion. So, like, the fashion shows, we do the concerts. Like, I think entertainment is a really important part of, like, who we are. We all are, like, you know, the passion, we're fans of things, and I think that's what brings us together as community too. So I love being able to host all these creative endeavors and, like, have people get involved. And, you know, a lot of the fashion shows, I've had, like, students locally be in those shows, and, like, it's been really fun to see them have so much fun and, like, do something that, again, they probably only would get the experience of if they lived in Boston or if they lived in New York. And no, you can do that here at home and, like, kind of find their passions and things. So definitely please come out to the events that we host and, you know, meet some really cool people that are in the area too. And, you know, connect us to people that you think are worth connecting with, because we're always open to collaborating and doing cool new things at the shop and in the courtyard and all those things. So I think that's kind of it.
Before we let you go, one thing that we ask all of our guests is to shout out a fellow woman-owned business that they love to support. So if you'd like to, take the opportunity now to...
Of course. And I can always send a massive list of them. I know a ton.
Every guest says that. Every guest does.
But I will say right now, the one that I'd love to highlight is Laleo Botanicals, which is my friend Sharon Sanchez. She's incredible. She's Ecuadorian, and she creates her own organic skincare. And I can truly vouch, not just as a biased, you know, friend who really loves her to death, but I can truly vouch that her product is so, like, fresh and so, like, so good for your skin.
Are you using it now? Because your skin is glowing.
I do,
and it's so clear.
I
get the close-up view. I'm like, oh my God.
Thank you, Sharon. But yeah, no, she's really like, I have wrestled with eczema my whole life, and it's always like a stress-induced eczema. So as you guys can imagine, running businesses, I get stressed all the time. So I have a lot of eczema, but her skincare has really helped with that, calm it down.
I'm gonna look her up right now.
Yeah, it's amazing. So, and she just launched this new brand. It was she has Yaku Collective, but she just launched Laleo, and this is like a whole new incredible experience. I'm very proud of her for. So it's been fun. So definitely, and her stuff will be in the market too. So you guys can come check it out.
Good.
Well, 2 for 1 there.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Well, Neelu, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you guys.
It's always great to see you. Like, I love when I go into the shop for a quick coffee or something, and I'm like, you're behind the counter. Like, that's the other thing too that we didn't mention is, like, she owns the shop. She's doing all the construction and the operations, but like, you'll go in there and she's making your coffee. Like, she does have an excellent team, as we know, but I frequently see her behind the cash register. So
we're a team.
She really does it all.
Thank you.
So yes, thank you for again taking time out of your busy day.
Of course, check us out on Instagram, guys.
Yes, we will put all the Instagram link and whatever else, what other socials and stuff in the notes of the show, so that people can reach out to you.
Awesome, thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us,
and we'll see you next time when you have a new business to talk about.
For sure.
Here we are, heart it or hate it once again.
Get ready.
Not rapid fire.
Not
Deep
rapid
dive.
fire.
Deep dive. Okay.
It's gonna take some time. Buckle up.
I know.
Strap in. Get comfortable.
First.
Can I go first?
Yeah.
Heart it or hate it, fast food. I need to know.
I'm gonna go hate it. I'm sorry.
As you should. Most people should hate it.
Do you love it?
I heard it. Well, and can I tell you why? It's because my town doesn't have any fast food, so it's never like easy for me to go out and get it. So when I am like in Worcester and I pass by it, I'm like, oh yes, what a treat.
Although, would you consider like Chipotle fast food?
That's a good question. In my head,
I do love fast food. I think they call it fast casual or something.
Yeah. In my head, fast food is drive-through. If there's a drive-through, it can be fast food.
Yeah. Like, I don't do like a McDonald's or a Burger King.
Yeah. You know what I just saw? Wendy's has this new bucket of chicken nuggets. I sent it to my husband, and he left me on red. Which fair.
Okay, so I'm gonna go hate it. You're gonna go heart it.
Yeah.
Okay. So this might lead into the next one pretty well. My first one is heart it or hate it. Little treat.
Heart it.
Heart.
Are you kidding me? Everything is a little treat.
And you know what's funny is I think people heart it more than I do. Like, there are a lot of people who, like, every time they leave the house, get themselves a little treat.
Yeah.
Is that you?
Yeah.
That's fair.
And I get Jamie a little treat every time I leave the house. So we get... Yesterday, when we went to Target, I'm like, Jamie, you want to pick out a toy? Dinosaurs.
Little treat?
It was $35.
Katrina.
I can't say no. Have you seen him?
So he's very cute. Yeah. I think I don't do little treat as often, and I think I've been doing it a little more often recently, but I did see a good like, people will hate on little treat culture. Like, you don't need a $7 coffee every time you leave the house. First of all, mind your business. Second of all, yes, I do. No.
Well, I do hate that idea of, like, you can't afford a house because you always get Starbucks.
And it's not true at all.
Right.
That literally do the math.
Right.
It's mathematically incorrect.
Right.
That doesn't... I can't with people.
Yeah. Cancel your Netflix subscription. Okay, I have an extra $100
a year.
Right,
a year.
Will that go towards my $20,000 down payment?
No,
I'm
it
supposed
won't.
to make.
No, and you'll also be less. You'll be more miserable because you didn't get to binge your favorite shows. So you know what?
No, it was actually earlier this week. Jamie's ABA therapist was at the house, and I was like scrolling on DoorDash, and I was like, okay, my toxic trait is that for any minor inconvenience, I think I deserve like a little treat or like takeout or something. Like, I had 5 meetings today. Oh, I deserve like to just have food delivered to my house instead of making dinner.
You do, right? That's fair.
Okay, good.
You shouldn't have to cook after a busy day of work and like taking care of your kid, and like if Jess still works second shift or whatever, like
he's
not
you know
home.
what
I mean? You can't do it all. What was I going to say about little treat culture? Oh, I've been getting it more recently. And so I saw a TikTok a few days ago, and this lady was like, don't tell me that, like, I don't need to get a $7 coffee when I leave. You want to know why? Guess what? I like woke up this morning, I did the bed, I did the sheets, I made breakfast for me, I made breakfast for the kids, I cleaned the house, I ran the dishwasher, I started the laundry. Like, I got the kids ready for school, I got their backpacks packed, I brought them to school, I dropped them off. And so, you know what? Yeah, I am going to spend a $7 coffee. You want to know why? Because this is the only thing that I don't do for myself.
Yeah.
Or the only thing I do for myself that I don't have to make it. I don't have to clean up after it. Yeah. I don't have to assemble it. Yeah. Like, so yeah, I am, because no one else is going to do anything for me all day long. Like, this is the one thing that someone does for me that I also like. I like let them do it for me. I do it myself, you know? So I was like, that's a really good point. Like,
it is.
If you spend your whole day like doing stuff for other people and whatever, or like working, or like, you do deserve something just for you.
I'm a big fan. Treat yourself.
Sure.
All the time.
So we heart little treat culture.
We do.
What do you got next?
Because it's summer, I was thinking about like summer plans, and I'm curious, heart it or hate it, lakes. And I think I know your answer.
Heart it.
Right. And I used to hate lakes, actually. Now I heart it. I've like seen people are like, you're either a beach person or a pool person or a lake person. Like, everyone has their preference as to one of those things. And I used to be like a beach girly. Like, I was like, lakes, no. Like, I want to go to the beach. Like, lakes are just, from my experience growing up, we had a lake in our town. It's a nice lake, but I, as a kid, was like, oh, it's like slimy and like it's mushy on the bottom.
Yeah, I don't like fish.
Yeah.
And slime.
Yeah.
Which is like trademark lake.
Right.
But yeah, get over it, basically. Like, I live on a lake and I've swam in it a couple of times. Sometimes there are like algae problems, so then you can't go in the lake, but I like it. I think it's like the underrated version of like beach, obviously.
Yeah, I used to always be beach, and
then the beach gets super crowded and it gets expensive.
It's just like, to me, it's no longer worth it to go that far and
not that I don't love
such a day out of it. I do love the beach.
It's just like it's honestly more work.
It is. I mean, I started really loving the lake again with Jamie, the thing that has changed my whole life. Because I can just, it's not a full day thing. It's just like, load them up 10 minutes down the road. It's cheap. It's nice. It's not that crowded.
Oh my God, you guys should come to my lake.
We should.
That would be fun.
Could Jesse go fishing in your lake? Is that allowed?
Yeah.
Because he really likes fishing.
Yeah.
Jamie really likes throwing rocks into the water.
Okay. Yeah. Y'all should come over. That would be fun.
I'd love it.
Bring the new kitties when you have them.
Okay.
Obviously. Okay, and finally, on topic with today's episode, heart it or hate it, and I know your answer, coffee. I know.
Why are you doing this?
So embarrassing, right? Right after that guest.
Huh? I know.
So I'm a heart it, obvi. I have iced coffee in here right now that I made before I left my house. I love coffee, obsessed. But some people aren't coffee drinkers, right, Katrina?
I hate coffee.
But that's not to say that you don't go to coffee shops.
I love coffee shops, actually.
Yeah.
It's like, I had for a while like a little trend of like every weekend trying out a new coffee shop, and I'd bring my book, and this was like my single like mom date to get out of the house, and I'd be like, Jesse, you watch Jamie, I'm gonna go out and just like, because I wasn't trying to go out and spend a whole lot of money, right? I just kind of wanted to get out of the house and have some alone time, because I'm just like never alone. Right. So I was going to different coffee shops and kind of like testing which ones I like and where I like to sit. I definitely love Bedlam Book Cafe in Worcester, because they've got really comfy chairs for me to read in. And I love Fuel, which makes sense. Fuel has the best sandwich, by the way, that I've ever had in my life. But anyway, I don't drink coffee, but I absolutely love chai lattes. And so that was also part of the journey, was trying to find the best chai latte that I could. And
love that for you.
So I don't drink coffee. Sometimes people put espresso in my chai latte without me asking for it.
Right.
And I try to be an adult, and I try not to act like a baby. But also, advocate for yourself. Yeah. Excuse me, this isn't what I ordered.
Okay, great. And then they fix it. They usually don't have a problem.
No, it's been fine.
All right, that's it for Heart It or Hate It this week.
That's it.
Thanks so much for joining us once again. Subscribe on Spotify and YouTube and throw us a 5-star rating because you're a girl's girl.
You are a girl's girl. And if there's anything else you'd like to see, anything you want us to talk about, let us know. Drop us a message on Instagram.
Yeah.
Happy to.
All right. Until next week.
Later, ladies.